Hey, it's Tara, your yoga bestie, and we've got a great class today. We're going to start out in a reclined position, and for today's practice, you won't need any props, although if you're familiar with my classes, you know I always like to have 2 blocks, but totally up to you. And so we're going to come into whatever reclined position feels good in your body. Once you've found that space, go ahead and draw your shoulder blades in towards one another. Before you close your eyes, make sure your focal point is going forward and not back behind you. That means that we're drawing that chin in toward the chest and elongating through the crown of the head. So getting space in that cervical spine or neck area. And then once you've found your spot, go ahead and close your eyes as we start to tap into our Ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Letting go of any thoughts or worries from the day so that we can focus in on our breath, which is our energy source throughout our practice. As we inhale, we'll feel the space right below the navel start to lift. Drawing upward, you'll feel an expansion through the side bodies, the rib cage, the belly, all the way up to where it lifts the collarbones. And on your exhalation, you're going to feel your belly button drawing towards the spine, allowing you to use all 3 parts of the lungs. And our Ujjayi breath is an audible breath. So you're going to hear a snoring like sound in the back of the throat, kind of like you're fogging up a mirror with your nose. And why don't we get into a rhythm where we inhale to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continuing with this rhythm, knowing that you can add or subtract any of those counts, not only now, but throughout the practice. And while you're tuning into your breath, we're currently in the throat chakra, which is the 5th chakra. The throat chakra is all about speaking your truth, effectively communicating your needs and expressing yourself. In addition to the throat, it also shows up in our jaw, our shoulders, our ears, our mouth. It's associated with the color turquoise or bright blue. And the affirmation I have for you that coincides with our 5th chakra for today's practice is, my words have the power to uplift and inspire. Again, it's my words have the power to uplift and inspire. On your next inhale, get a nice full body stretch. You can reach the arms up overhead, extend those legs out in front of you. Any other movement that feels good at this time, maybe moving the head from side to side, maybe making some rotations, the wrist, the ankles, just saying hello to your body. And then we'll bring our hands together at our heart center in our Anjali Mudra as we set our intention for our practice today. And maybe that intention is, my words have the power to uplift and inspire. Or maybe something else resonates with you that you need. Please honor that. And we'll take another big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. So when you're ready, start to open up the eyes. We'll start to bring in some movement so we can bring our knees into our chest, getting them a nice big hug as we walk along the spine. Maybe coming into our happy baby pose, or you might place your hands onto your knees, making circles going in one direction. Big breath in here. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest, get on a nice big hug. You might round the spine, draw the nose towards the knees, leading yourself into the little ball. And we're going to release our soles of the feet down, our head down, our arms are going to come down by our sides. As we start to move into some flowing bridge. So as we inhale, we'll push into the feet, lifting up those hips. Arms reach up overhead. And then as we exhale, we slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time as the arms come down by our sides. Kind of trying to keep it in the same rhythm. So inhale as you lift, and exhale as you lower. And just start to find a rhythm that feels good to you. Really getting in tune with the breath as we bring in movement. Big inhale, big exhale. And move through one more of these. And then from that space, bring your knees into your chest. We're going to roll all the way up to our seated position. Extend that left leg out in front of you as you fund the right knee in, so you have nice and tall. And we're moving into a twist, so right arm is behind us. Left arm reaches up, or we hug that knee in, or use our elbow as leverage as we draw the shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale. Feeling that nose, I'm drawing towards the spine, so twisting here. Take one more big breath in. Exhale. And then we're going to switch sides, and we can hold it here, or we might find some movement, making some circles with the arm, bending and straightening the legs. As we sit into those heels for chair pose, and we're twisting towards the right. As we twist, we're coming into those scissor arms, so left arm comes forward, right arm comes back. You keep sitting back with those heels as you inhale. And then on our exhale, we're going to take that left hand to the outside of our right knee or our foot as we lift ourselves up into our dancing Shiva. So we can hold the outside of the foot or the knee. If you want to work that leg straightish, great. Big breath in. And as we exhale, swing that leg back, coming into your half moon. So if you have a block, you might have it here for your left fingertips as we open it up, really flexing through that right foot. Working on stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. Big breath in. Exhaling, we'll bend that left knee a lot so we can land in our goddess stance. So heels in, toes out. Arms can be in goal pose or hands feet heart center. Big breath in. And as we exhale, come into your wide forward fold, but we're coming into a twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up as we stack shoulder on top of shoulder. So try to work your weight forward so you're not sitting back into the heels. Inhale. On our exhale, we're bending both knees facing the back. Lower that right knee down and lift up the right arm as we come into our exalted warrior. So you might gaze towards your right fingertips, might gaze past your shoulder. Get that arm straight down or wrap it around you if that feels nice. Make sure your back toes are tucked under because we're moving into Skandasana. So we're going to face the other side as we come towards the top of our mat. And we'll just move from side to side here. Just finding a little bit of an opening in this first Skandasana. Next time you're towards the front of your mat, go ahead and stay here. We're just going to bring those hands down and face forward. Maybe have those blocks, if they're available to you, to each side of the foot. And we'll start to shift forward and back from our riders to our pyramid-like pose. Next time that we shift it forward, hold it here. Go ahead and plant the hands, pushing the floor away as we find our plank or push-up position. Exhale, slowly lower all the way onto your belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. We'll come all the way down, top of the feet are in the mat. Hands are underneath the shoulders as we inhale, lifting up Cobra Pose. We'll move through these a few times on our own, so feel free to change up your hand placements. My personal favorite is to come into a wide stance on the fingertips and then start to incorporate those shoulder dips. Next time the head lowers, bring our hands underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes under as you make your way into your first down dog of this practice. So maybe turn to bicycle the legs or move the hips from side to side, just finding some movement here. One more big breath in. Exhale. And then bend your knees, gaze forward as you either walk or float to a seated position. We're coming onto our backs again. But we've got to start over with that bridge pose, right? So we're going to bring those arms down by our sides. And we'll start to find that flowing bridge as we inhale, lifting, and exhale, lowering. One more here. And then let's bring those knees into our chest. We'll rock and roll all the way up to seated. This time, we keep our left knee in towards our chest as we extend our right leg out of the front of us. And we'll hug that knee in nice and close before we move into our version of this twist. So feel free to hug it in or use your elbow. Big breath in. Exhale. And then we'll switch it out, moving into our wild thing. So right hand to the outside of the right leg. Left arm reaches up as we go on the ball of that foot. Again, we can hold it here. We can make some circles with the arm. We can straighten the leg. We prefer to have some movement. Inhale and lift. Exhale, bring your gaze towards your right hand and reset the left foot back. and wrist up the right foot back. Sitting into those heels as we come into that twisted chair based on our arms. So right arm forward, left arm is back. Bring that weight in through the heels. Inhale. Exhale, take that right hand outside the knee or the outside of that foot as we come into our dancing Shiva. Option to extend that leg or not. If you're working it straightish. Big breath in. Exhale, swing that leg back as you move into half moon, opening up towards the side. Flexing through that left foot. Exhale, bend that knee. Big bend to where we move into goddess. So heels and toes out. Again, and find some movement here if that feels good. One more breath in. And then as we exhale, find that wide forward fold. This time, left hand is down, the right arm reaches up, opening up towards the back of the mat. I made that mistake last night. Not making it again. You can take one more breath in. Exhale. And then we're bending both knees facing the back for exalted. So left knee draws down, left arm will reach up overhead as we gaze past our shoulder up towards the fingertips. Next time that we shift it forward, we'll hold it here. And we'll bring those hands down as we face forward, maybe having our blocks here. As we start to shift forward and back from runners to our pyramid-like pose. Next time we shift it forward, we'll hold. Plank those palms as you find your plank or push-up position. Lowering with muscle, maybe you hover this time, chaturanga. Inhaling into your cobra or up dog. Exhaling into your down dog. Full breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then we'll bend our knees, gazing forward as we step or float to the top of the mat. Coming into our forward fold. So just hanging out in this forward fold. Nice wide stance. You might have the distance of at least 2 fists in between the feet, maybe wider. And choose not a variation you like. Maybe you're reaching right to the elbows. But we'll start to bring our feet in towards one another as we roll all the way up to standing. Soothe our hips. Let's reach those arms up overhead gaze. We get for some fingertips, mate. Exhale, forward fold, either swan diving or bringing the hands through heart center. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. And then let's plant the palms, gazing forward as you step or float back to your plank pose. Lowering with muscle. Inhaling into your cobra or up dog. Exhaling into your down dog. We'll take a full breath in. Exhale. Bend the knees, we'll gaze forward as we step or float. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. Let's reverse, reach it up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant. Gaze stays forward as we step or float back. Making our way to down dog however we wish into your cobra or up dog. Exhaling, down dog, or any resting position of choice. So giving yourself this time to check in with your breath. That concludes our warm-up. So just noticing how you feel, slowing down the breath if it's starting to speed up at all so that you can kind of become intentional, get a drink of water. And let's refer back to our affirmation of my words have the power to uplift and inspire. So give yourself something encouraging to think about. So often we get caught up in things that are not encouraging. So I want you to give yourself a compliment right now or just say something nice. Take a full breath in. Exhale. All right, if you're new to my class, we do have 2 main sequences that we do. We repeat them, and then at the end, we bring them all together. I call the first one peanut butter, the second one jelly, and at the end, we have a delicious peanut butter and jelly sequence sandwich, which is so fantastic. Today starts out in down dog for our peanut butter section. So make your way there. And go ahead and lift up the right leg. Open up the hip, heel behind me up towards the ceiling as you work that left heel down. We can stay or start to make some circles, going in one direction, going in the other direction. Nice. We'll inhale, straightening that leg. Exhale, bring it all the way through. So you'll find your runner's line. Just make sure your feet are set up to when you're not on a tub rope. And then arms will reach up overhead as we find full crescent pose. And you can always make some adjustments here, walking that right foot out to the side. Maybe find a little bit of a bounce here. Inhale. On our exhale, we're moving into dancer's pose. So feel your core engage, the belly button to spine. We kick towards our behind and reach for the outside or the inside of that foot or ankle. On our exhale, we're landing in goddess. So big bend in that knee. Big bend in both knees, heels in, toes out. Full inhale. As we exhale, come into your forward fold twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then we're bending both knees as we face the back, coming into our exalted, our supported exalted. Reaching that right arm overhead. Make sure those back toes are tucked under. So we're moving into Skandasana like we did in the warm-up, so shifting towards the top of your mat. So here's where we're going to change. Hands will come down, and the feet are going to come together at the top of the mat. Option to stay right here in this crouch. Option to bring the hands to heart center. Maybe find a twist here, or maybe it's a playtime. So option to come into side crow, maybe give yourself a little bit more space like I'm doing. And if you want to work it with just one arm, which is the traditional version, and also allows for you to add on from there. You could bring your left arm to the outside, right arm comes by its side. They're going to come into chaturanga-like arms as we come into our side crow. Other option I want to provide is coming into your fallen angel pose, which, pro tip, fallen angel is easier than side crow. You don't really have to get fully into side crow to be able to do fallen angel. You just have to make sure you bring your head down, because that's the hardest part. So, and you have to lift your seat up at the same time. If I'm coming into side crow, I can immediately bring that head down and start to lift those legs up. And all of the weight is in my hands. I am pushing the mat and the floor away a lot. So, totally optional. Remember, we started at our crotch here, so just listen to what your body needs. We'll find forward fold, facing forward. Let's roll all the way up. Arms will reach up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening. Hands plant as we make our way to our down dog. So, can always take a vinyasa. You can always skip a vinyasa. Listen to what you need. Left side, so left leg lifts. We'll open up that hip, heel behind the up towards the ceiling. Stay or start to make those circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. Inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, knee draws the nose as we bring it through. Checking in with the legs as we're moving into that full crescent pose. Arms will reach up overhead. Maybe we have a little bit of a bounce here. Maybe we dance. There's no music on, but does that matter? From here, we're going to look up into dancer's pose because we're calling it a dancers. So we'll engage that core, reaching for that foot or ankle. Bring the knees together as we extend through the left fingertips. And then have that foot pushed into the hand to create space. Big breath in. Exhale, big bend. We're moving into that dog, so heels and toes out. Find a little bit of movement here. And then we're going into our wide twist. So straighten from the legs, left hand is down, right arm reaches up. Keep shifting forward so you're not sitting back into the heels. Inhale. As we exhale, both knees bend, we face the back for that supported exalted. So reaching the left arm overhead, finding your focal point. Back toes tucked under. And we're moving into Skandasana, facing the other direction, which is where we bring our hands down and we bring our feet together. So your arms will be to the outside of Let's see. The left leg, yeah. So if you're shelving, you're bringing both elbows here. That's assuming you're playing around with here. Otherwise, we find a twist or we keep our squat. If we're moving into our one-armed variation, we would have our fingers all facing forward, elbows to the outside, and move into that side crow. We want to come into our fallen angel. Left ear comes down as we reach those legs up towards the ceiling. We're just going to continue to move with the flow. So you can take your detours or you can be like, not today. We'll find our forward fold at the top of our neck. Let's roll it up. Arms reach at the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we make our way to down dog. Always option to take or leave the vinyasa. All right, right leg lifts on our inhale. Exhale, we bring it through. Crescent pose, arms reach. Exhale towards the behind so that we can inhale in for dancer's pose, pushing into the hand with the foot. Exhale moves us into goddess. And then we straighten those legs as we twist towards the back of the mat. Right hand down, left arm up. Bending both legs, we reach the right arm overhead as we come into our exalted. Exhale, tuck the back toes under as we move into Skandasana. From here, hands come down, feet come together, and we find our forward fold at the top of our mat. Let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we make our way to our down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Inhale, arms reach for crescent. Exhale, transitioning into our dancer's pose. Inhale. Exhale, soft landing into goddess, heel and toes out. Exhale, straighten those legs so that we can inhale, left arm up, right arm down. Exhale, bend both knees, exalted to the back. Inhale, left arm reaches up overhead. Exhale, back toes tuck under. And we move into Skandasana. Hands come down as feet come to meet. And then we find our forward fold. Let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we make our way to our down dog. Leg lifts. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, transition. Inhale, dancers. Exhale, soft landing into goddess. Straighten those legs, right hand down, left arm up as we inhale. Exhale, bending both knees as we come into our exalted state through the back on the inhale. Back toes tuck. Exhale, Skandasana. And then hands come down as feet come together. And we find our forward fold and the front of the mat. You're almost there. Let's roll it up. Arms reach up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we make our way to down dog. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, right through. Inhale, coming into our crescent. Exhale, we transition into dancers. So our inhale, we lift up. Exhale, moving into goddess. Forward fold, left hand down, right arm up as we inhale. Exhale, softening both knees as we face the back. Inhale, left arm reaches, exalted. Exhale, back toes are tucked under as we come into Skandasana to top. Hands and plant. We bring our feet together. And we can find our forward fold here. Or maybe just find a seat. Check in with your breath. Get a drink of water. My words have the power to uplift and inspire. Again, my words have the power to uplift and inspire. All right, let's make our way down to our backs. And this will feel pretty familiar from our warm-up. So on our inhale, we lift up the hips as we reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, you lower it down. Knees in the chest, we roll up. Right knee stays in the chest and left leg extends. And we twist toward front. Big breath in. Exhale. Moving into wild thing, left hand comes to the outside of the left leg, right arm reaches up. And then we take a step to the back. We take another step to the back, and we're in that chair pose with a twist where we have the scissor arms. Left hand comes to the outside of the knee or the foot as we come all the way up to standing for dancing Shiva. Inhale. As we exhale, swing that leg back, moving into half moon. Big breath in. Exhale. Right hand comes down, big step back. Runner's twist. So right hand lowers, left arm reaches up. Stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. Inhale. As we exhale, come to the outer edges of both feet, coming into your horizon lunge. We're going to reach our fingertips towards the front of the room or the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower onto your seat. And we're coming all the way onto our back as we come into a spinal twist. So that left leg comes over, left arm extends. See, we're on our backs twice. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Bring your legs and your gaze back to center, setting up for our bridge pose. So we inhale, lifting. Exhale, we lower. Knees in the chest, we roll up. Left knee stays in, right leg extends. And then we'll twist. Big breath in. Exhale. Wild thing, right into the outside of the right leg, left arm reaches up as we lift up those hips. Gazing to the back, we step both feet to the back. And we sit in that twisted chair, those scissor arms. Right hand comes to the outside of the foot or the knees. We come all the way up to our dancing Shiva. And then we swing that leg back, coming into our half moon. Really flexing your that left foot as we bring our weight into the right. Ball mound. Inhale. Exhale, left hand lowers, left leg lowers as we come into our runner's twist. Stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. Exhale, come to the outer edges of both feet as you come into your horizon lunge. So reaching towards the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower that seat, lower your back, and we're set up for our spinal twist. Bring that right leg across as we gaze past our right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. We face the center. We'll bring our feet onto the mat. Exhale, we lower. Roll it up, keeping that right knee in towards your chest. We twist towards the right side. Left hand behind the left leg. We inhale, wild thing. And then take those steps back as we come into our twisted chair. Left hand to the outside of the knee or that foot as we come all the way up into our dancing Shiva. And then we swing that leg back, coming into half moon. Right hand, right foot lower, runner's twist. To our horizon lunge, toward the outer edges of both feet. To where we sit and we come on to our backs for our spinal twist. Left leg comes across the body. We'll bring ourselves back to center, setting up for bridge pose. So we inhale, lift. Exhale, we lower. Roll up. Left knee stays in the chest. We twist towards the left. Wild thing. Inhale, the left arm reaches up. Exhale, we take those steps to the back for our twisted chair. Left hand on the outside of the knee or the foot, all the way up to standing for that dancing Shiva. And then we send it back, moving into half moon. Left hand and foot lower, runner's twist. Coming to the outer edges of both feet as we reach towards the front of the mat, coming into our horizon lunge. And then we come onto our seat, we lower, as we bring that right leg across the body. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we've got one more time for each side. Bridge pose, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Roll it up, right knee stays in the chest. And we exhale, twisting towards the right. Inhale, we move into wild thing, reach that right arm up. And we take those 2 steps to the back for twisted chair. Dancing Shiva, you find that knee or foot. You find your version. Swing it back, half moon. Lower it down for your runner's twist. Come to the edges of both feet for horizon. All the way down. All the way onto our back. Till we come into that spinal twist. No, you might be screwing all around your mat like I am. That's cool. Just, whatever. The world is our mat. One last side. So find that bridge pose as you inhale. Exhale. Knees in the chest. We roll up. Left knee stays. And we twist towards the left. Inhale. Wide leg facing the right. And we take our steps to the back as we come into our twisted chair. Moving into our dancing Shiva to half moon. Runner's twist to horizon. Lower it down. Spinal twist, right it comes across. And we bring it back to center. Yay, how you doing? You just finished jelly, which means we have come to my favorite part of the practice. It's peanut butter and jelly time. So get excited because we're doing this one last time. We're bringing the 2 sequences together. One last time. You focus on what's more positive for you. Let's check in with our affirmation. My words have the power to uplift and inspire. My words have the power to uplift and inspire. Tell yourself that you've got this. You've already been here several times. You're going to do amazing, and I'm here with you. So let's go. Make your way to down dog with enthusiasm. Big smile on your face because you're almost there. So for our down dog, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we'll bring it through for crescent pose. Moving into our dancer's pose on the inhale, crocheting into that hand with the foot. And then softly landing into our goddess, heels and toes out. Wide twist, right hand down, left arm reaches up. And then we soften both knees as we come into exalted to the back. Back toes tap under, Skandasana. And then we bring those feet together and we come onto our seat. Very then. Inhale, bridge pose. Exhale, lower. Knees in the chest as we roll up, keeping that right knee in towards the chest, so that we twist towards the right. And then we switch it out, moving into wild thing. Right arm reaches up. Step it to the back. Twisted chair with those scissor arms to dancing Shiva. Find your version. Maybe it's wobbly. Oh my goodness. And then we'll swing it back, half in. Bring that right hand down, that right foot down as we come into our runner's twist. 2, arm for horizon lunge. And we'll bring our hand down as we make our way to down dog. First side is double. Nice work. Left leg lifts. Bring it through for crescent pose, arms reach. Moving into our dancer's pose on our inhale, pushing into that hand with the foot. Soft landing into our goddess. And we come in that wide twist, left hand down, right arm reaches up. Bend both knees, we face forward this time for that exalted, left arm reaches up. Back toes are tucked. Skandasana to the back of the mat. Hands come down as we bring those feet together. And we come onto our seat as we lower onto our backs. Inhale, bridge pose. Exhale, we lower. Knees in the chest. Keep the left knee in as you come all the way up. We twist towards the left. Moving into wild thing, right hand down, left arm reaches up. So we come into our twisted chair. So yes, we're facing the same way we did before because we're being moved around. Right hand to the outside of the foot or the knee as we come into our dancing Shiva. And then we swing that leg back. Half moon. Lowering the left hand and the left leg. Runner's twist. Having the cat lunges with both feet as we come into horizon lunge. And we'll bring that hand down. Make your way to your down dog, however you like. But know that you did it. Yes. Great work. So make your way to seated when you're ready from that down dog. I think I'm listening. I'm sweating. All right, let's come on to our ass and just check in with the body here. See what else you may need to feel complete in your practice. Maybe find some windshield wipers like I'm doing, just releasing the lower back. Or whatever else comes to mind that speaks to you in this moment. Otherwise, we're just going to make our way to our final pose of Shavasana from here. I like to ask that you take up space here in this pose on your mat, because our practice is a reflection of our lives off the mat. So the idea is if we take up space here, we take up space once we go out into the world. As you come into this final pose, this final shape, have a moment to give yourself so much gratitude for showing up today. So much gratitude for all the hard work that you just put in. And so much gratitude for this feeling that you created, which is amazing. You did an amazing job. So proud of yourself. I'm so proud of you for showing up and putting in this work. So now just allow all of the benefits to practice to sink in by allowing your body to be still and your breath to be soft. Absolutely no worries. Just be. Just be. Always feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you need. If you are ready, you start to find some movement, reaching the arms up overhead, getting a nice full stretch as you wake into this new body. And then bring the knees into your chest, give them a nice squeeze as you roll to your side. Take this feeling with you as you leave the mat. That is when our true yoga begins. We'll meet in a seated position of choice. Hands will come to heart center, our Anjali Mudra, as we tuck our chin under. And we close our practice with Namaste. Thanks so much for being here. Until next time.